Good morning. Please be seated. I'd like to welcome you to McLennan Community College's 2016 Fall Commencement. We are extremely pleased that you are here with us for this celebration. First, I'd like to take a moment to honor some special people who are here with us today. If you are a veteran or on active military service, would you please rise so we can thank you? Thank you very much. Now, I'd like all of us to rise in appreciation of their service for the singing of the national anthem. Be seated, please. I'd now like you to welcome Dr. Johnette McCown, President of McLennan Community College, who will welcome you and introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. McCown.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. Recognizing the success of our graduates is a time of celebration for all of us and the reason we exist today, really. Students, you have completed a step in your career journey, and as you move forward, I want to remind you of a couple of things. Be courageous, and courage is contagious, so let's think about that. Now, students, would you stand, turn, and face the audience to thank your family and friends for their support. Thank you. All of us at McLennan Community College are proud of you, from the shuttle driver to the police officers to the faculty to the people helping you pay your bills. All of those things, we're all proud of you. Now I would like for our faculty and staff to stand so that we can recognize them. Thank you. Before I introduce to you our Board of Trustees, I have a very special guest who is with us today, 95-year-old World War II veteran and former provost of Baylor University and special mentor to our speaker, Dr. Lambert, Dr. John Ballou. Would you help me recognize him? Now for our Board of Trustees. They are elected to help you and they volunteer their time. They are, and they will stand, Mr. K. Paul Holt, Board Chair. Secretary, Mrs. Geneva Watley. And members, Mrs. Pauline Chavez, Mr. Earl Stinnett, and Mr. Ricky Turman. I would also now like to recognize Mr. Harry Harlick, Executive Director of the MCC Foundation, and members who are here, if you will all stand and let us recognize you. Linda Hatchell, Kent Cahey, Missy Larson, Paul Crunch McClinton, Charlie Moore, Dr. Hazel Rowe, Alfred Solano, Ted Teague, and Geneva Watley on stage. Let's recognize them. Being courageous, I also want to mention a few things to remember that are qualities of truly confident people. Listening and then listening some more, taking a stand and not being afraid of being wrong, boosting confidence in others, asking for help, and owning mistakes. Now I want to introduce to you our speaker, Dr. Bennie E. Lambert, leader, educator, and motivator. Bennie Lambert, endearingly dubbed Dr. Yes by those who know him best, speaks of facing adversity, overcoming obstacles, leading by example, and attaining success. With his positive attitude and tenacious work ethic, Dr. Lambert has emerged as not only a local celebrity and guru on leadership and growth, but is also recognized nationally. His most recent book is How to Grow from No, which inspires readers from all backgrounds and helps them to continue pursuing personal and professional goals. Graduating at the bottom of his high school class did not keep Bennie Lambert from coming to McLennan Community College and then going to Baylor University to earn bachelor's and master's degrees in business and educational psychology, and then a doctorate of philosophy from Texas A&M University. Dr. Lambert received the Distinguished Alumni Award from his high school and his college, and recently he was awarded the Houston Police Department's Humanitarian Service Award for his leadership and dedication to advance the lives of citizens and create goodwill. Dr. Lambert is the Vice President of Student Success at Lone Star College. I present to you my friend and colleague, Dr. Bennie Lambert.
Let me say good morning to you. Oh, that was good, but we can do better than that. Good morning to you. That's great. A privilege and a pleasure for me to stand before you, Dr. McNown. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here. As fate would have it, in essence, 30 years ago, I was a commencement speaker at McLennan Community College. And 38 years ago, I was a student for the first time at McLennan Community College. I'm going to couch my remarks this morning, and they're going to be entitled The Foundation. I'm standing here right now as an example of what I got as a foundation where you received your education at McLennan Community College. I'm in Houston now. I've been there for 25 years, grew up in Waco, grew up in the area, and my story is a brief one. I'm from a little bitty place called Home of the Free, Land of the Brave, and 2 red lights. I don't see anybody going, I know. I had the good privilege and good pleasure of being raised by both my parents and my grandparents, and neither of whom went to this thing called college. In fact, none in my family had ever graduated, as perhaps with some of you this morning. But they knew that there was something about this thing called college. There was something about this thing called education that they wanted myself and my sister to at least be a part of. Make a long story short, it was time to graduate from high school, and I did what you're supposed to do. You submit your letters of application and a couple of references and all of that. And I submitted, in essence, to the only school I knew anything about at the time in terms of knowing something, because they were always on TV. It was Baylor University. And I submitted my letter the fall of my senior year, and I got a nice letter back the spring of my senior year that stated, "Dear Bennie Lambert, due to low test scores and poor class rank, we're unable to admit you to Baylor's freshman class." I must say at that point, I'd never been as embarrassed, I'd never been as ashamed, I never felt as humiliated as I did about that letter, for 2 reasons. Number one, I let myself down, and 2, and perhaps just as importantly, I let Big Mama down. Now, I don't know how your Big Mama in your life works, but mine, she was telling everybody Bennie was going to Baylor. And we had a party line, and everybody on the party line was listening. They knew I was going to Baylor, and all of a sudden, I wasn't going. And I thought everything was okay. I graduated from high school in May, and in August the 23rd, after I'd graduated, Big Mama said, "Bennie, let's go." I said, "Where are we going, Big Mama?" She said, "Get in the car." And she drove me to McLennan Community College. It was the first day that classes start. Not cool to show up the first day that classes start to register. Also not cool to bring your grandmother with you. But we were there, and we got our classes and all that, and as fate would have it, I had classes that day, and I was so nervous because Big Mama was sitting in the student center. How was I going to meet girls with Big Mama there on campus? The neat part about it, while at McLennan Community College, I was able to cram a 2-year degree into 3 years. Somebody will get that going home. But my biggest goal was to play football because Baylor had a football team, and I wanted to walk on and all that good stuff. So after leaving McLennan Community College with my 60-plus hours, transferring to Baylor, I walked on at Baylor University. And Coach Taft was a coach, and they needed people like me called walk-ons because the scholarship athletes needed someone to practice against. But I knew if I could have a chance, I could make it happen. The second day I practiced, I was a running back because I grew up idolizing Calvin Hill, number 35 of the Dallas Cowboys. And they pitched me the ball, and I remember taking 2 steps, and the next thing I remember was waking up. I come later to find out the guy who hit me while at Baylor, he broke 7 helmets. They didn't count mine. His name was Mike Singletary. He later went on to do great things, and Mike is a close friend of mine now. But here's the neat part of all that. There are 2 things on the wall in my parents' home, and I grew up in McGregor, Texas, right at Harris Creek. Yeah, there we go. As soon as you pass Valverde Road, the first exit on the right is where I grew up. And my mentor is here this morning. Dr. Ballou is right here. I'll tell you a little bit about him in a moment because I've got 3 points. I'm going to be very brief. But I got that nice letter that I got from the Dean of Admissions at Baylor University, Herman D. Thomas, that stated, "Dear Bennie Lambert, due to low test scores and poor class rank, I kept it, and I paid $67 to have it framed. And it's on my wall, but there are 2 things on my wall. I have that letter, and I gave to my parents my bachelor's degree in business from Baylor University." You can put applause right there. I tell you that story because it's not about me, and I promise you it's not, but my high school graduating rank, literally I was about 17th from the bottom of my high school graduating class. There were 16 people in the class who knew less than I did. I knew them well. I was their leader. I had an ACT score of a 10, and I had an SAT score of a 600. My scores added up together. I see why Baylor didn't want me in their class. But I do put a comma there to say, were it not for McLennan Community College, me and many, many like me would have never had a chance to be a part of this thing called higher education. Yeah, you can put an applause right there. And I am so honored to be here. I told you, it's been 40 years. 2000, I started in 1978 at McLennan Community College with my background. And the neat thing, the person who told me no, I couldn't go to Baylor upon graduating was the first person to offer me a job. So I spent 6 years working for Baylor in admissions and recruitment of the athletic department. And there was a vice president of student services at McLennan Community College who helped me and Big Mama get situated the first day. She was just doing extra work. And she asked me to come and give the graduation commencement speech in 30 years from now. That's how old you get. 1986. And I spoke, and I almost talked about the same thing I'm going to talk to you right now because it's so true. I talked about the foundation. And I say that it's been almost 40 years since I've been directly connected to McLennan Community College, so I always remain connected because that's where I got my foundation. No matter where I go and speak, I get to go all over the country, I never let them get away with saying he just graduated with his bachelor's or master's from Baylor and his PhD from Texas A&M. I always let them know my roots, my foundation is McLennan Community College. There's a saying that says it's not as important in life as to where you're from, but where you're going. It's not as important in life as to what you have, but what you're willing to do with what you have that makes the difference. I just told you my background, and I'm telling you why this place was great then, and I think it's even greater now. I'm at a community college in Houston, Texas. My system has almost 100,000 students. On the college I serve on, we have 25,000 students. It's big, and all the things go with big are there. But I come and I look at what McLennan Community College had when I was here and have what they have now. It's absolutely outstanding, and I certainly appreciate and applaud the faculty because you make the difference. You're in the classroom. You really are in the classroom, and the graduates know. The staff and the administration and the board of trustees for not only keeping the vision, but expanding the vision. And just as we in the Houston area have a chance to go to the community college, and at the same time, people used to say, why don't you become a four-year school? Because we missed the mission. But they have thought creatively, and they've got a university center here, and there's only a few community colleges in the country that have the university center complex, so that upon graduating, if you want to get a four-year school degree and not even leave the city, they made it happen. So Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, Dr. McCown, you and your team, thank you for making this place better than it was when you came here, and I'm a witness of that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All should put an applause right there. I really mean that sincerely. And I'm almost done, and this is what I really came to share with you. The word commencement in the dictionary, there are two words for it, or two definitions. One says, and you can Google it, you don't even need a Webster anymore. When I was in school, had Webster. And I'm talking about, this is called the foundation. Most people say, well, why didn't you type your speech out? I just wrote it down on a piece of paper right here, because that is the foundation. There's a saying that says, if you think it, ink it. Because things that you write down, when you really write them down, you don't even need to read them anymore. It's just something that magically happens about the pen and the paper. Nothing wrong with the computer. I love them. But there's something about things that matter. When you write them down, when you journal them, you don't even have to really resort to them except as a guide. So the word commencement in the dictionary, two definitions. One, it's a ceremony in which graduates are honored and awarded certificates or degrees or diplomas, which we're having right now. Beautiful. The other word for commencement is beginning, start, kickoff. And isn't that amazing? Even though as you're graduating, and as I sat where you sat, unfortunately I did not graduate because there was one class that wouldn't transfer to Baylor, so I didn't take it. I regret that, but I'll bet I'll reverse transfer. It will do something for me, because this is my roots and my foundation. I'll never forget it. There's a saying that says your roots, that's R-O-O-T-S, determine your R-O-U-T-E-S. Your roots determine your roots. Never lose sight of where you come from. Yeah, thank you very much. That's so true. And it's amazing, the person who led that applause is someone who's sitting out there. They may or may not have graduated, but they're here to watch their son or daughter or significant other walk across this stage. So as you're about to walk across this stage in just a few short moments, you're really not walking for you, though you are the one who earned it. You're walking for those who are sitting in that audience, many of whom did not get to graduate, but many of your sons and daughters. And as they see you graduate, they're going to graduate. And I commend all of you. Some of you are perhaps 20 years old, 18, 19, but there are others that might be 30 or 40 or 50. And what you're going to find about this little bitty thing called education, it does not matter how long it takes you to get it. The key is get it. No one's ever asked me, for the most part, what did I major in? Thank you very much. When did I get my degree? How hard it was? Just get it, because you're now going to be in a position to do things you never could have done without it. And as I said, commencement means start, beginning, kickoff. You're reaching a level you've never been. And I congratulate you. I want you to celebrate. I want to applaud you. But I also want you to always know that there's a next level. And just as I was sitting where you were sitting, in essence, and thinking, if I could just graduate from high school, I'm done. But I come to find out the more you know, the more you can serve and be rewarded. So enjoy this. But many of you, just like I have achieved my bachelor's, my master's, and my doctorate, you will too. I'm telling you, it will happen. There's something about this thing called education. I think it should be spelled EDG-U-CATION, education, because with it, you do have an edge, and you deserve that. But you didn't get that edge by itself. So if you ever see a turtle, Big Mama said this, Dr. Blue knows her very, very well. She said, Benny, if you ever see a turtle sitting up on a fence post, and we lived on Highway 84 going from Woodway to McGregor, and there are a lot of fence posts out there, but I never saw a turtle sitting up there, but Big Mama had a way of putting things. She said, if you ever see a turtle sitting up on a fence post, look around, because somebody helped get them there. And just as you're sitting right here tonight, this morning, there are people sitting behind you. They helped get you there. You know they did? Yeah, put an applause for them. This place is filled, super filled, and this is just a December graduation. I'm so glad, and I applaud McClendon Community College for making this twice a year, because so often you graduate in December and they say come back in May and graduate. It's almost anticlimactic. You need to do it while it's happening to experience the joy of walking across the stage for the second time. I thought my high school graduation was it, but you're going to love this. You're going to love the experience. And my second point of my 3 points is Big Mama. I just told you, everybody has a Big Mama in their life. Everybody does. My Big Mama, we weren't rich, but we had everything we needed. You just need one person who cares about you, one person who loves, and one person you fear. That was one person in my life. That was Big Mama. Here's the best example. One of the things that we could do growing up on a farm, on Saturdays we could go to the grocery store with Big Mama, and any food we wanted, we could put in the basket. I mean anything. Pop-Tarts, Apple Jacks, cinnamon rolls. I probably got so many trans fats in me, it's ridiculous. But our grocery store was a Piggly Wiggly, Highway 84 in the States. It's not there anymore, but we'd go, and I'd always go. My sister would like to stay at home. I'd go, and it was time to check out. And no matter whether you're in there for 5 minutes or an hour and 5 minutes, when it's your turn to check out, there's always somebody in front of you. And that was the case with us. We were sitting there about to check out. Everything was great. I had plenty of food in the basket standing next to Big Mama. Just super excited. And they were almost finished. And in front of us, the lady and her son, who's about 6 or 7 as I was then, a little toy green and yellow John Deere tractor pops up. And she says, I didn't get that, put that back. And before she could say back, the little boy was in the floor crying, doing a temper tantrum, just cutting up, embarrassing his mother. In fact, so much so, she finally said, okay, let him have it. And before she could finish with let him have it, he was up, not a dry eye to be found. He was excited because he's going to get his tractor. And I was standing next to Big Mama. I told you I love her. I mean, I had my stuff. She goes, Benny? I said, yes, ma'am, Big Mama. She said, did you see that? I said, yes, ma'am, Big Mama. And with her purse, she said, don't you ever do that. She whipped me right there in the Piggly Wiggly. And every time I go to the Woodway-McGregor area, I'm looking for that little boy, wondering, is he still around? Because I owe him a whipping. That's what influenced me in my life to keep the steady path of doing as best I could to better myself, because Big Mama knew that I had the opportunity, I had a chance, I just needed direction, and she was always there to provide it. And lastly, I told you this is called the foundation, the fundamentals. Never forget where you come from. You'll never forget your roots. You'll never forget this moment you're about to experience, because this is the foundation to everything that's going to happen from here on out in your life. If you got a strong foundation, you don't have to worry about the eventual outcome. You're going to be fine. I went to where you're graduating from now. The fact that we're great then, they're probably greater now. They care. You have it. You got it. And you had it even before you came to McClendon Community College. But we always need someone in our life to trigger that, I've got Dr. Blue up here as my mentor. Big Mama literally helped him. All kinds of things that she was able to do that I learned from them. But the neatest part about it all, you're at McClendon Community College, whether I always say there are basically 2 ways to graduate. You can graduate cum laude, or you can graduate like I did. Thank you, Lottie. But you got to graduate. So many people started when you started, but you finished. Did you hear what I said? So many people started when you started, but you finished. And I'm here telling you as an example, I'm not talking theory. I'm not talking words. I'm talking experience, because I know your background that you hail from. And your future is super big. You're not in a jar with a top on it. You're in the world, and the sky and beyond is the limit. So those of you who made it, and that's all of you, I know at some point you may have been tired, but you refused to quit. I know at some point you may have been bent, but you refused to break. I know at some point you may have stumbled, but you refused to fall. No matter how fierce the chill or few the friends or bad the enemies, you did not quit. And you can put an applause right there. It's huge, it's big, because others did. They let little things stop them from getting to a moment that you have right now. And I'm here to tell you, if you'll use what you've already learned, through McClendon Community College and your family and the surroundings, there's nothing in life that you won't ultimately be able to achieve. No math, no science, no foreign language, nothing that you can't learn. It may take you a little longer than the person sitting on your left or your right or in front of you, beside you, but you're not really competing with them. You're competing with you. And once you get you right, you can compete with the world. And we do live in a place where people who graduated from McClendon Community College are all over the world. And that's why I acknowledge this place wherever I go. They're all over the world. You pick a country, start asking questions, you will find people who got their start, their foundation at McClendon Community College. So this is a great place. I always tell people I got my start at the community college. Baylor didn't want me initially. I wasn't there yet. But who got me ready is this place. And that's why it's an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be invited back, to come back 30 years later, 40 years later, and to tell you this place works. You already have it. I just told you that. I'll leave you with this. You have everything it takes. You've gone to McClendon Community College, MCC. Some of you came and probably didn't even have a GED. And I know the adult ed people are here. We hook you up in that area. Whether you have a GED or didn't graduate or graduated first in your class or last in your class, there's something for everybody at this great place. But here's the neat part. I told you it's called the foundation. You have it. You had it before you came here. You just reignited it, and you're taking it to a whole nother level because everybody's foundation is different because you have different skill sets and different things that you can do. But everybody's foundation is predicated on almost the same thing, the basics of learning. And it is this. I congratulate each and every one of you, each and every one. I'm looking forward to seeing you walk across the stage, hearing your parents, your significant others, your loved ones, those who weren't able to see you graduate. Their spirit is in you walking across that stage. There'll be some tears. I cried. I didn't think I could cry except for the time Mike Singletary hit me and knocked me out. And by the way, I quit football that day. I didn't even take my uniform back. And people who see me go, oh, yeah, you went to Baylor. Did you play football? And I go, yes. What a great feeling to tell that and not be lying. Yes. Didn't play in a game, but I played. Here it is. And I believe this is so important. Remember today, you're graduating from MCC. Great place. But you already have what it takes to go to the next level. And don't forget it. Never forget them and always use them. It's what I call the ABCs for life, for living, and for going to the next level. With the A, accept your challenge. With the B, believe in yourself. With the C, combine your words with actions. And with the D, dedicate your life to your dreams. With the E, expect some hard times. With that F, fight on and be faithful and finish all of your courses and your classes. With the G, G is for the genius in each and every one of you. With the H is for your history and heritage, rich and pure. With the I is for the intuition to look beyond the obvious. With the J is for justice and the fact that you must fight every day just to keep it colorblind. With the K, keep on keeping on. With the L, let love be the light that leads the way. With the M, make every day count. With the N, never say I can't. Take that O and overcome your obstacles. With the P, put your best foot forward. With the Q, quit quitting. With the R, run the race with patience. With the S, stand strong. With the T, trust the Lord. With the U, use your talent. With the V, value your time. With the W, work till your work is done. With the X, X-ray your own lifestyle. With the Y, yearn to achieve. And with the Z, zealously strive to reach your zodiac peak. Congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you crossing the stage.
Dr. Lambert, Mr. Tucker checked the records, and you actually earned your degree in 1980, so you're going to join the 2016 graduates with your own diploma.
Thank you so much.
Will the candidates for certificates please rise? Mr. Holt is Vice President of Instruction at McClendon Community College, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and administration, I certify that these candidates have completed all the requirements for the indicated certificates as prescribed by the Board of Trustees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and administration, and as chairman of the Board of Trustees, I hereby award the certificates to which you are entitled.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the associate degrees please rise? As Vice President of Instruction at McLennan Community College, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and administration, I certify that these candidates have completed all the requirements for the associate degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and administration, and as chairman of the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the associate degree with all the rights and privileges thereto. Please be seated.
Will the candidates for certificates please come forward to receive your certificates?
Anthony Albiter. Natoya D. Alvarez. Stephanie Deanne Balch Bohannon. Kayla L. Bright. Kennedy Scout Clendenin. Kaylee A. Collier. Raven S. Cornish. Cheyenne Kelly Dabney. Hortensia I. Diavola. Leah S. DeLong. Jeff Dorsini. Justine Crystal Evans. Lacey Marie Fitch. Nate Flores. Eva Marie Garcia. Christian Elizabeth Ann Green. Yolanda S. Harden. Daniela Havriskewy. Stephanie L. Hernandez. Karen Hewitt. Kaerica S. Higgins. Shanalyn Hill. Regina Lee Jenkins. Lisa M. Johnson. Cole A. Maupin. Katrina Marie McKeown. Chastity S. Minor. Sabrina D. Morales. Edwin C. Onwukegwu. Belinda Perea Espinoza. Margaret R. Peitzmeyer. Kathy M. Perez. Samantha N. Ramey. Stephanie Noel Reynolds. Vanessa D. Rodriguez Castanon. Leanne N. Ryan. Dustin Leanne Sharp. Esther J. Small. Claudia P. Stallings. Andrea N. Taylor. Catherine N. Turnbow. Asia M. Villarreal. Kara Beth Wagstaff. Tyler Watson. Jasmine J. Weeks. Annie D. Wilson.
Will the candidates for the associate degrees please come forward?
Leslie R. Adams with honors. Alexandria Maria Alamon with high honors. Joseph A. Areola with honors. Jose Paulino Ashton. Christy Jasmine Avila. Kelsey K. Bally. Maria F. Barrigan Vargas. Carla A. Bennett. Karen Lisbeth Blankus. Angela R. Bravo. Reese Bridges with honors. Christina K. Briggs with honors. Brooke Elizabeth Browder with high honors. Yvette L. Campbell. Regina Lynn Carr. Alexis Cassidy. Guillermo Serta III. Alexander Jacob Chandler. Martha Scott Choate. Erica Contreras. Tristan D. Conway. Colin S. Cook. Terry L. Cox.